For the first time this season, the Lakers lost last night when LeBron scored 40 points. First time that's happened since he's joined the Lakers. He could use some help, so enter Rui Hachimura. The fourth-year forward was acquired on Monday and is expected to make his Lakers debut tonight. Plus, AD is on the way after missing 20 games with a right foot injury. He's preparing to return to the lineup. The Lakers host the Spurs in their final home game of the month. Tip-off at 7:30 here on Spectrum Sportsnet. With a win, the Lakers would sweep all four meetings this season. Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers, Chris McGee, James Worthy, Meta World Peace, Allie, Trudell, both down at the arena. Got a little different vibe. You hear about AD coming back.
Yeah,
Hachimura joining in.
It used to be AD's on the way.
Yeah.
Now it's like AD's back or something. We got to come up with something.
All right, well, let's take a look at the Lakers injury report, because that is usually where we start. And there's actually some good news. Anthony Davis, and this is the first time we've said this since December 18th, he is available to play. LeBron James, a lot of people thought maybe he'd sit out the second night of a back-to-back. He is available to play. Lonnie Walker IV, still out with the left knee tendonitis. So it's the second game of a back-to-back tonight at Crypto.com Arena against the Spurs. Let's head back there. Mike Trudell is getting you ready for the game with all the info. There he is. Michael?
Hey guys, welcome to downtown Los Angeles. Geeter, all kinds of information going on in the pregame session. And you led with the most important thing, Geeter. That is that Anthony Davis is ready to play some basketball for the first time since the middle of December. And, you know, this has been a game that not he specifically, but had been kind of hinted at as a potential target that he would love to come back in, but that couldn't be assumed, right? He had to clear all of these daily hurdles, and he has done so. So let's go to Darvin Ham, who describes some of that with AD and then gets to a couple of other updates as well, including Lonnie Walker and then LeBron James' status.
In all likelihood, he will make an appearance tonight. Yeah.
Darvin, how does that make you feel after going through these last couple months?
I'm happy for him first and foremost. I know how frustrating this process has been for him, especially at the level in which he was playing. I'm just happy for him and definitely happy for us. So we'll get him out there. We won't go too crazy with his minutes and see how he responds.
So is there kind of an official minutes limit or just a range that you're trying to stay in?
Oh, there's definitely a limit. Definitely a limit.
Is that something you want to share with us?
Not really, because if worse come to worse, I may go over it.
So a soft limit.
Yeah. Got it. Soft, yeah.
And then just with Lonnie as well, we saw that he was upgraded from questionable. Do you know if he'll be available?
Nah, Lonnie will be out. He and Austin both get reevaluated on Friday.
As much as you can say without being able, obviously, to predict the future, how comfortable do you feel that Anthony has healed from this injury? Or what level is there still feeling out process to him returning now?
Well, I just think he's gone through some rigorous therapy, weight training, weight-bearing exercises, activity on the court, both individually and some group workouts. So we would save him from himself if we thought there were any type of threat or harm that he could do to himself. So he had these boxes that he had to check, and he's checked all of them. So we feel comfortable with him appearing tonight.
And there you have it. So Anthony Davis set to debut here. He will come off the bench. That's in part right to limit his minutes, and so that if they want him to close the game, which of course they would, the minutes would be low enough to let him do that. I also hinted, Geeter, that we were going to hear from Darvin about LeBron. I lied. I am going to tell you about that. LeBron is officially in as well. Darvin said that he's feeling good. I think it's the third straight back-to-back, in fact, that he is playing on the second night. And so that's something that, of course, is very helpful. San Antonio coming in not at complete full strength, but mostly there. So just Vassell won't play for them. He's been out for a little while anyway. And Langford also at the shooting guard spot. So, again, Geeter, lots going on here, but the headline, AD is back.
Mike, I just want to say congrats. You had some good news to report.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
Yeah, and that's the best news that they could hear. And then, of course, let's see how he looks on the court. But there was some fear, of course, when he first hurt the foot, that who knew when he was going to be back, Eater. And they have actually survived this period better probably than many thought, as NBA teams always struggle without one of their best players.
Yeah, great point. They are 6-4 in the month of January, and they played 20 games without him. So pretty impressive. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Great updates. I had this one circled that maybe LeBron would miss this one, but he's a go. But let's start with AD because that's the big story. Out since December 18th. Great news for the Lakers. Chance to get a little momentum and, more importantly, some minutes, whether he's coming off the bench or not, for AD going into this road trip.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good news because we had no idea when his return would be. A foot injury is really sensitive, and you really got to take your time, which they have. And I think the philosophy that they use is like, when you're 100%, we're going to wait another week. So we know that he's ready to come back. He's had some intense practices with teammates. They've tested it thoroughly, and it's nice that they're going to, bring him back slowly, because you got to be careful how you bring him back, because, he may be ready to go, 100% right away. Just take it easy, bring him off the bench, let him get fewer minutes, and get ready for this very important road trip.
Yeah, it's all momentum. I mean, this thing has shifted. They bring in a new player from Washington. They bring back the big fella, AD. So we don't know how good this team. We know they're going to try to get to the play-in.
Yeah.
Try to inch to the playoffs. And now we're settling talking Lakers again.
Yeah, it's nice. And do you have the world record for like an MCL injury and then you were back 3 days later? What was that?
Oh, it was a meniscus tear. I was back in 5 days.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you, but I'm like, Meta might know this. He might not know this answer. But when you are off for an extended period of time, like AD, and you miss 15, 20 games due to an injury, and you're working your way to get back, what's kind of the mindset that first game back?
I mean, it depends. The first game back from an injury. Well, for me, I was always just trying to get back and play with the injury, which it pretty much ended my career, so I can see why guys would take off. But when you're back, you just don't want to hurt yourself, a hamstring injury, things like that. You want to come back and not tweak it again, but you're hoping that you're back and you're 100%.
So there's a mental hurdle, too.
For sure.
Because you don't want to get hurt, but then you're so excited to be back.
Right, and cardio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. If it's an upper body injury, you usually don't have as much anxiety or fear, or you think about it much. If it's below the belt, and if it's an ankle or knees, and something where you got to plant and move and react to somebody else's moves, I mean, you can control where you want to go. I remember when I had like a foot injury, and Scottie Pippen knew it. It was 91 championship, and he threw a little pump fake at me, and I had to react for it. That was it. I was done for the rest of the series. So it just depends. If if it's up in the arms and stuff, you usually can play through that with a little pain. But if it's a knee, or if it's an ankle, or a hamstring, you're gingerly for a little bit, until you do something spontaneous like dunk without thinking about it. You're like, oh, I'm okay now.
I'm back.
Yeah. But it's tough.
Had a plantar fascia injury. I was out for 9 months. I cried every day. You were back in 5 days for meniscus. All right, Laker fans, you can now play the Lakers Pick'em during every game this season on Spectrum Sportsnet. Answer 15 questions correctly, and you could win $75,000 in addition to other great prizes available each game. Questions are revealed throughout the game, including a key word that Bill and Stu will reveal during the third quarter. Tonight's first place prize is a $100 Lakers Store gift card. It's free to play at www.lakers.com/pick'em. You must be 18 years or older to enter. See official rules. Lakers and Spurs are coming up at 7:30. Dennis Schroeder has had a hot and cold month. He scored in double figures just twice over the last 7 games, yet his 16 points per game in January is the highest in any month this season. And coming up on Access, with LeBron's 46-piece last night against the Clips, he's now under 200 away from a record that has been alive for 39 years. More on the Kings' chase for history after this. But first, here's a 1-minute update from Spectrum News 1 presented by